Alright there guys, hi, this is Ubik, my name is Rafael and I'm here with
Andres.
And we're here to talk about Game of Thrones, the Season 6, Episode 5, so warning ahead of everything, we are going to spoil every single thing and we're going to have a small discussion.
So if you haven't seen the episode, then go watch the episode and come back.
What the fuck are you doing if you haven't seen the episode, really? That's the real question here.
Alright, so first we talk about Sansa. Basically what happened.
Let's do this.
So she had a little meeting with Littlefinger and...
Oh man. Yeah.
I mean, I think it was very tense in a way.
I think it was like, it might have been a little bit of fan service too, to actually, you know, after what he did and what he made Sansa go through, you know, there's this bit of a fan service where she actually makes him talk about what might have happened.
Right, yeah, well, she's asking him, like, you know, do you know what he did to me and all that?
Yeah, exactly, all that stuff. She's intense.
I mean, it was very tense, but the thing is, do you think it was a good choice, I mean, the right choice to actually let him go? And because she basically had two choices. She could have either used his army, you know, the army that he had somewhere, or she could have killed him right there and there. But, you know, she didn't do either one of those things. She just let him go.
I feel like, I don't know, there might have been some sort of sympathy or something. I don't know what, and that's what we talked about before, about is she idiotic or is she a genius and we just can't understand it.
Yeah, maybe too smart that we just can't see. You know, she's always thinking 10 steps ahead.
Exactly, yeah. We don't really understand it. The way that I see it, she should have used his army, but I can also see why she wouldn't have.
Well, she couldn't trust him, really.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can trust him.
But why not kill him? You know?
That's my problem.
Like, I don't know. Well, maybe at the same time, if you kill him, then, you know, you could start maybe a war or something, and you could have them not being bystanders, the Knights of the Vale, not just being on the side of things, but actually getting involved and joining Bolton, perhaps, if you kill Littlefinger.
That's true, yeah, but do you really think they would? Who cares about Littlefinger? I mean, honestly, it's like...
Yeah, and maybe they'd be happy to see him gone.
Like, oh, did you kill him? Actually, yeah, here's our army, use it. Like, I don't know, like something.
I don't think with Sansa, you know, she had this meeting with, you know, they were all together having dinner with Jon and, you know, all these guys, and they were planning the war, basically, the things they could do. And she basically lied to Jon. Why do you think she did that?
That's a hard question, honestly. That's the question of the episode, isn't it? It's like, why would you? It's like literally have this one person that might be the only person you can trust in the world, and you decide to lie to him.
Yeah.
And you conceal information that doesn't make any sense to conceal him from. I don't know if she, and that's maybe why he kept Littlefinger alive. Maybe he wants Littlefinger as just for his information. And he's going to use this information to maybe win over the North. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but then why? But still, why lie to Jon? I think, and then you see Brienne talking to her and say, you should have told him the truth. And then she goes to Jon, and instead of telling the truth, she gives him a new coat, and it's like, what? You know, what's the point? But yeah, anyway.
Maybe she felt bad. She was like, I know I felt bad. I lied to you. I'm not going to tell you, but I made this amazing coat.
And another thing, what do you think about her sending Brienne away? I mean, because she's finally protected, and she lies to the only person she could actually trust, and whoever was protecting her, Brienne, sent her away to talk to his uncle or something. But, you know, why? I mean,
I don't know. And it's just a little bit, I don't know, it's just a little bit weird. I don't know what Brienne can accomplish that maybe they could accomplish by themselves, because she could just be walking into her death. Imagine if her uncle doesn't really want, you know, Sansa back. He just wants everything for himself.
Well, true. Maybe sort of lie, because we haven't seen this uncle do anything.
That's true.
The Blackfish, I think it's called. Yeah. We haven't seen him do anything, and maybe it's just a big trap, like, you know, hoping.
Exactly,
and maybe she's actually being smart by not going herself, but sending someone else.
So he sends the best warrior she has, one of the best, you know, sword fighters in the show.
Fair enough. I mean, we'll have to see, to be honest, to see what happens there.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's a hard one.
Then Arya, basically. I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of her, you know, there's scenes where she's fighting and training, because it's always the same thing. In the beginning it was interesting, she was blind, but then she was not blind. Alright, she's fighting, she's getting better, but now it's getting repetitive. The same thing again and again. I mean,
I feel like they're taking too long to actually get into the thing that matters. The thing that matters about this story would is the backstory. You know, the whole religion and the backstory of the Faceless Men, and you know, to actually demonstrate this incredible assassins, which is something that they don't actually do. Like, they don't show them in a good light, as in like how amazing they are. You just see these people and they, you know, they're there and they're not doing anything.
Yeah, you know, it was funny because I think it was season 2 or season 3 when we get to see this character, the Faceless Man or whatever, for the first time. And he's like a very skilled assassin, and you're actually, but then it all slows down, and what they do while they just sit around this temple and drinking water and blinding people is not, you know, they don't feel like.
Yeah, there's something missing there. I can kind of see what they're trying to do. I can see what they're trying to get
well, like you said, it's taking too long.
Yeah,
I mean, it's taking too long for things to actually happen. Is she going to Arya? Is she going to transform herself into something else? But is it ever going to happen?
I don't know, because it's like it's this slow transition into getting one of the most, I don't know, probably one of the characters with the most pride, to get rid of that pride, forget who she is, and just be a Faceless Man, which is something I don't believe she can actually do. I don't think like she will ever get to be a Faceless Man. In my perspective, I think at some point she's gonna get her stuff, try to run away, grab her needle that's somewhere hidden in between those rocks, and just, you know.
Well, and I think there's a hint of that possibility when there's this play going on.
Yeah.
And the play was about basically season 1 history, about how the king died and Joffrey and the execution of the father. So basically, I mean, when you talk about the play, there's a hint of that possibility happening, because you see this when they talk about the history in this play, and they play out some of the history of season 1, and how the king died and Joffrey, and the role each one of them had to play. You get to see how that moment, that all that things still affect her to a great deal, and you could see then going back to the possibility of her not becoming a Faceless Man, but maybe returning to what she really is, which is Arya Stark, you know, daughter of, you know,
Eddard Stark, all that stuff. I think so. I think she's I don't know. I always felt like she's missing something. Maybe because she's too young or whatever. There's something missing there.
Or maybe, or just being too repetitive. I mean, can we get going? I mean, start killing people, do something, make it transform.
It's like if like we understand. Yeah, it's like at this point it's like, okay, we understand she's wild and she does this and she does that, and you know she wants to sword fight and she wants to be this really badass. Can we just skip ahead and get
to the point? I mean, like, is she going to assassinate maybe Cersei? You know, make her this. You know, someone that's so important that she's got to kill, and make it a big deal, not this eternal training, eternal preparation. You know, it's like, is it ever going to end?
Yeah, it's gonna end in 2 ways. She's either gonna run and actually try to go for her targets, for her personal targets, or she's gonna give up on all that and actually just go for, you know, the Faceless Man, and just,
which would make no sense to the plot and to the whole story. It'd be like
maybe for like some sort of reason Cersei is targeted by the Faceless Man, like someone pays.
Well, it could be.
And you know, and at that point she's selected to go. But that's like, I think I would kind of look at it like, well, that's a coincidence now, isn't it?
Yeah, like, and why not even? Yeah, anyway, that wouldn't make much sense anyway.
Yeah.
Now talking about Theon. Now basically, Theon, we have, you know, obviously
Greyjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, we have this council of some sort. They were they're choosing a new king. And I think what was powerful about this scene was when Theon was given a chance to speak to everyone, and instead of actually stepping up and saying, you know what, I'm going to be the king, you know, basically he stepped down and said, no, you have to support my sister, she's the one. And I think it was a bittersweet feeling, because in one way you wanted Theon to like step up and regain the glory and everything he lost. But on the other side, you say, well, yeah, but this Theon is not the old Theon. This Theon is actually a lot more. It's a humble Theon, and he's going to let her sister rule the Ironborn, and which in the end we see she doesn't get to do, because basically we have the new brother. What do you think about this new character, the uncle?
I don't know. He's a crazy one, isn't it? I mean, he comes in, he's been all over the world, all this stuff, and he kills
the king, basically.
Yeah, the king. Yeah, and it's just like I'm not sure. I think I may like him because he's so crazy and he's so, like, you know, he's just gonna do the unexpected. Like, there's no way to know what he's gonna do next.
And this plan about maybe marrying the Khaleesi, you know,
it's not gonna happen though. That's my way. Like, my issue is like, that is not gonna happen.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do? You're gonna bring the boats to Khaleesi and maybe be like, okay, do you know what? I support you, this and that.
I think there's an alliance maybe coming up, but I think
marrying her.
Yeah, and especially the way she is, which we know.
Yeah, And maybe
he wouldn't be the first one to try.
He's been all over the world, but I don't think it's been next to her, because like 1 second next to her, you would automatically know that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But talking about Greyjoy, Theon Greyjoy, I honestly much prefer this decision of, you know, allowing her sister to go through, because you have these two different characters, which is the first Theon Greyjoy, the season 1 Theon Greyjoy, and then you have now Theon Greyjoy. He screwed up, so yeah, he screwed up on season 1, and now he's been spending all these seasons, you know, paying for it.
Yeah.
And he did pay for it, and I'm happy that he paid for it. I think all that he got along all these seasons, you know, even the sausage thing, I think he deserved it. I honestly think he deserved it. And I think now it's time for him to be like, okay, you paid for it, I'm okay with you, I don't hate you anymore, you can stay here, just be humble and just don't try to screw anything up again. So, you know, allowing her sister's such a strong character now.
Yeah, I think so.
Just allowing her to actually, you know, have the chance to try and do that, I think it would be much better.
Yeah, but now we wonder, because in the end they escaped with the best boats, and I think the question now is, I mean, regardless of thinking how they got together and how they managed to get away with all these boats in such a little time.
I mean,
but
if anyone's gonna do it, it's the Greyjoy.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But the question is, what do you think they might be doing now? What do you think that's going?
I have no idea. That's what I got myself thinking about that after I saw the episode. I was like really sitting down and actually thinking like, where would they go? Are they gonna pick up this idea and actually go and try and help Khaleesi, or, you know, there's nowhere in the world they could go. But are they gonna come back to the Starks and try and support them? I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I think it's a big surprise, honestly. I mean, we never know what might happen, but that's something to look forward to, I think.
That's true, yeah. I'm just gonna, I don't know, just gonna keep on going through the sea until, you know, the food's less and then decide, I don't know. I have no idea. It's like, you know, no plans. They just ran, and they were just like, I think they just ran. And it was like, you know, we can think about this later, where we're going to do
No, I think there's got to be a plan. Otherwise, they would have stayed and fought. You know, I think there's got to be something.
Greyjoys are not known to be smart. I'm just going to be honest here. I mean, it's like, they're not smart people. They're not smart characters.
No, well, they're not the brightest, that's for sure. But anyway, what do you think about Khaleesi now? I mean, obviously, we have this reunion finally. Well, not reunion, but now they actually get a chance to sit down and talk, basically. We have Jorah talking to Khaleesi. Jorah basically tells her that he loves him or loved her or something. And... well, I said it wrong. Wait.
Just Jorah comes in and he says he loves her and all this stuff. And, you know, and he says, oh, you know, I'm sick and I love you. And it's all, you know, like it's all the Notebook all over again. And I'm just so sick of it. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit bored of this storyline of, like, you know, I think like it's really important having this character that really she can rely on, and he's gonna try to do everything in his power to help her. But man, he's dragging on since season 1.
Yeah, what makes it happen again? And then, you know, finally you have them together, and you know, they're finally focusing the plot. And now we have, it would seem to me that they were, you know, getting rid of all these little plots going on, and they were focusing on this big thing coming up now. And now they send him away. And he wanted to go by himself instead of maybe just serving her until he died. And then she gives him this command that makes no sense, like, find a cure and then come back. It's like, what? I mean...
I feel like he's just like, because he basically said, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to kill myself. That's what he basically said. Because, you know, like, okay, you know, like, this is going to kill me, so I'm just going to kill myself. Because, you know, we've seen the conclusion of this disease before, when Tyrion and him had to go... on a boat through that island, whatever thingy. And we saw what can actually happen, like you go mad, like, you know, this goes all over your body, it's really bad, whatever. So, you know, he doesn't want that to happen to him, fair enough. So there's many solutions. You either do it like everyone else, you take this guy to this island, just leave him there and just kick him in the butt, and you're just like, come on, now you're free. Or, you know, you kill him. Or if you have infinite money, like... what's his face had to do? Stannis?
Yeah.
Stannis Baratheon had, you know, basically, you know, basic infinite money.
Oh, yeah, so he stopped it. Right, I remember that now.
Stop her child from dying from it. But then again, like, he had to bring all these priests and these healers and this and that and all that
and I'm
stuff.
guessing that Lord of Light might come into some role to play.
I think it might have been a red priest that might have stopped that. I'm not sure, though. It's been so long, and honestly... you know, it doesn't matter anymore, does it? Anyway,
you know, we'll see what happens, but I think in the end we can agree that nothing really happened.
She went up in flames now, so there's no solution.
Now talking about Tyrion.
Yeah.
Basically. So basically achieve this peace with the masters, I think they're called. Now he's trying to make this alliance with the red priests, basically to spread out propaganda about Khaleesi and how it was actually Khaleesi's victory and not his.
Yeah, I think so. Because basically, I think everyone is kind of scared. Like now, it's like the queen disappeared. We don't know what happened. What's going on? Blah blah. All this stuff. So you're basically just gonna pick up the religion and spread the propaganda and maybe try to convince all the people that are now questioning themselves. And people start questioning themselves, start questioning the queen, and all of a sudden they start being drawn towards this. What's their face? The masked guys.
The masters, I don't know.
Yeah. But there's the masked guys that actually assassinate people. I
can't remember.
That's how boring they are, honestly. Yeah. But I mean, like, so it's basically. I think for me, it's fascinating. For me, it might be
Sons of the Happy.
Sons of the Happy. For me, it might be the most interesting part about the show. Is this part of like where Tyrion actually comes along and he has this politics and this way of thinking and this way of, solving these issues, helping more than anyone in my the way that I see things, helping Khaleesi actually conquer the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, I think he's right where he should be anyway. I mean, there's no other place in the show where he should be at this point.
Honestly, yeah, I didn't really think about it in the beginning. Like, in the beginning, I always loved this character. It's been my favorite character ever since I started watching the show. But ever since the beginning, I never thought it would work so well. This interaction between her and Khaleesi.
Definitely.
It works amazing.
And we got to see some of the backstory for Varys when he's talking to the Red Priest, basically. And
it was scary, wasn't it?
Yeah, at first I didn't understand why was he being so aggressive, but they need the Red Priests to talk about how Khaleesi achieved this peace, and they need them. And I couldn't understand why Varys was being so aggressive in this conversation, but then you realise, yeah, right, because the whole thing with the story about what happened to him back then, it had to do with the Red Priests, which I had completely forgotten.
Yeah, basically, the reason why,
Yeah, he lost his member.
Let's just say it's the same thing as Greyjoy, huh? Theon Greyjoy, he has no sausage anymore. It's just it's scary. It's scary to actually see this character that we've always seen him in this light where he always keeps control. He's a very
reasonable,
calm person.
at all times. Yeah,
he's a very calm person. He keeps control. He, everything, everything is right where he wants it to be. And now you see this despair on his eyes, and it's just
and which makes us wonder. What did the fire say? Because the priestess, she said something about the fire saying something, and that she knew somehow. And that makes you think, well, what did the fire say that he's so scared?
What was this spell for? Because I'm assuming if
a purpose of some sort.
If he cut it and he put it somewhere, put it on a fire, whatever, there was a purpose for it. What did this spell achieve?
Yeah, well, we'll find out. I'm hoping
guessing,
before the season ends.
I'm completely oblivious of this part of the story. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. I'm excited.
Now talking about Bran, which is a big thing basically, I think, of this episode, is basically what happened to Bran. And we have two separate things, basically, two separate scenes. One of them, the first one, had to do with the children of the forest, and we get to find out how the White Walkers were created.
Yeah.
And I think that was just a big reveal, to be honest.
It was amazing. I wasn't expecting it to be so early on, because it's quite early on in the show. I mean, it's only episode 5. I know there's not a lot of episodes on the season. To be fair, but it's it's so early, and they're already showing out it done, and I've been waiting for this, and in my head right now, the only thing that I'm trying to question is, who's this guy? This guy is tied up to the tree, and he's gonna be basically the Lord Commander of the White Walkers, basically. It's this guy that
the king of the White Walkers.
Exactly, that's the guy that we keep on seeing and all that stuff. And I don't know who's this guy.
Yeah, not only him, but you when you see them fighting later on in the scene, I mean, you realise that there's 5 of these guys, the commanders or the leaders, and makes you wonder, what's the identity of these guys?
And do they actually have an identity?
They must have, and I'm sure they're going to use that to their advantage, the writers. I think there's something going on with the identity, and I think if we think about the characters that may have gone missing in the early seasons, then somehow, maybe...
Oh, I see what you're trying to say here.
Maybe.
Yeah, I see what you're trying to say. You're talking about...
the brother of
Eddard's brother.
Yeah, Benjen Stark.
Benjen Stark.
That could be... That could be the
Yeah,
one.
he just disappeared. It could be him. I mean, no one knows because he disappeared and like I completely just forgot about him.
But talking about the children, before we talk about the Starks now, because that's a big thing. Talking about the Children of the Forest, I think it was quite important to see this leader of the Children of the Forest, and usually to see her story being told from beginning to end very quickly in one episode. I think it was interesting because usually in Game of Thrones you have to watch many episodes to get the reward of seeing someone or succeed or fail to understand them. But here we got to see how she created the White Walkers. We understand why, which basically is the backstory about the humans invading this continent, Westeros, and how how basically the way to fight back, because they were being slaughtered, was to fight humans with humans. Only these humans were, of course, magical and
a bit colder.
Yeah,
a bit cold-hearted.
Bit colder, and it makes sense to understand now how come Dragonglass, the Children of the Forest, how their weapons are so effective. Well, basically, it's like a safeguard because they were the masters of the White Walkers, and we get to see the end of her story, the leader of the Children of the Forest, because she basically sacrifices herself, fighting.
I think it's a very powerful message, like, from one episode, like you said, going from the beginning to end of, like, her creation, what she had to do regarding the circumstances of the war and all that stuff.
Yeah, and be able to understand it as well and say, it wasn't evil, it was just trying to survive.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, you do what you do to try and survive, and then you get to this point where she has to sacrifice herself. Yeah. For the greater good, because of her creation, really.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm here left wondering still, who the fuck is this guy? Oh, sorry. Who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, and again, we will wonder. I think probably the identity of these guys will have a role to play. Now, talking about Hodor, again, the big thing I think of the whole episode was basically Hodor and how it happened. What do you think happened, basically? That scene, how would you explain it? What do you think happened?
Oh, man, I mean... Here's the thing, like, they've been hinting at it for a while.
Hinting at what?
Hinting at this bleed effect is what we actually talked about this before, me and Andres. Is this idea that Bran is a... Okay, so we live in a magical world and there's lots of people that are wargs, is that the name? Orcs? Wargs?
Yeah, people are can take control of animals.
Animals, exactly. That's the idea. That basically him, and we've seen a few people north of the world when Jon Snow was there, that can actually do it. They can control, animals and all this stuff. So he's one, and then there's this next level of warg, which is a green seer, a true seer, and basically the two that we know is
Three-Eyed Raven.
A Three-Eyed Raven. He basically is a green seer
who died in this episode. Another character who died.
Jeez, it was strong. I didn't like him either way, but I mean, he was strong. But then, you have Bran, he's a green seer, and this whole idea that he can actually go through time and see and perceive information of what happened there, even though he wasn't there. It's amazing. It does have the side effects, and that's where the bleed effect comes in, where he's there, and if he says anything or if he does anything, it might affect what's happening on the past that is it. And they hint at it when he went to the Tower of Joy. When he went to the Tower of Joy and his dad, Eddard Stark, is about to go up the stairs and he screams out "Dad" or whatever, I don't remember.
And it would seem like he could actually he could hear what Bran was saying, and he actually turned back.
And he turned back and he was like he didn't know what was going on.
At the same time, I think the Three-Eyed Raven was trying to warn him not to do that. Like there was something wrong with that.
Exactly. And so that's what happened. And then there's this 3 stages of like, okay, this happened. Okay, so a little bit bad happened. Like he turned back, he was aware that you were there. Stop it. And then there's a second level when he actually sees the creation and then the White Walkers, the White Walker army. And he gets too close, and the White Walker commander actually grabs by his arm. And I think this might be a next level, because I think that he has such power. He's a magical creature. He has such power that he can actually. He maybe doesn't perceive time the same way. He doesn't perceive space the same way, so you can actually reach him and touch him and all that stuff. And then you have the next level, which is Hodor.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I think that's a mystery. The big mystery of this episode was we get to see how Hodor was somehow changed by these seizures that he had. Mm-hmm. And was this this link between the past and the future, and how two things were happening at exactly the same time. Hodor was dying, holding the door, basically. We get to finally find out where Hodor comes from, which is a big reveal.
It's amazing. By the way, guys, if you hold the door, I mean, I wasn't expecting that.
That phrase takes a whole new meaning to my life now. Whenever anyone asks me to hold the door, I'm like, yes, I will.
It's just like if anyone's like, hold up. What? Hold the door? No.
I think it was a very powerful moment, but the thing is, you begin to think, was this seizure something that was always going to happen anyway, some sort of fate going on, or was Bran actually changing the past and having this power to actually possess people? Because it happened that the seizure began the same way he would possess people. Maybe without knowing, he changed his life. He actually ruined Hodor's life forever, but
I think it was just him not being able to control his powers as well, because you have this. So he's basically warging into Hodor, which is something that he's done in the past. He wargs into Hodor.
Yeah, he takes control of him.
Because Hodor doesn't. He's not a very aggressive person. He doesn't he loses control, so he warps into his body and he does the job for him.
Yeah,
he uses his strength and all that stuff. But now we have him doing this while being a green seer, so while in the past he's trying to warg him in the present, right?
Yeah,
he's looking at the child Hodor and he's trying to control Hodor.
But in the end, what Hodor did, when you think about it, he wasn't being possessed in the same way he was usually like his eyes were not white. He was actually, but maybe I think what happened was that he in some way Bran programmed Hodor to become something else and to serve him in some very perverse way, I think. The question now is, now that Bran can do this, first of all, how are they going to survive walking through the snow? That's the first thing. How are they going to survive? There's got to be a third party that's going to come in and help them, I think, because otherwise I cannot see them outrunning the whole army of White Walkers. And second, what are they going to be the consequences of this? With the whole Game of Thrones, because if he can go to the past and change people basically and change things, then how is that going to play? What role would that have with all the other things that are going on?
I think it's going to be. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. First of all, honestly, I'm questioning myself too about the whole idea of was Hodor actually being controlled and worked into, or was he actually just programmed? Or was he actually Hodor this time? The heavy lifting and stuff. And when it comes back to this whole idea of okay, Bran can now do this, what will he do? Will he actually actively seek trying to do this kind of stuff, like going to the past and changing it? Or will he actually just be a consequence of him trying to gather information? Because I'm sure the first thing he's going to do is go to the Tower of Greyjoy and find out what's going on.
Probably, and that's something we all want to know, because there are so many questions that were not answered in that tower.
Yes, please.
But at the same time, when you think about Bran's ability to change the past, you think, well, Hodor has always been Hodor from the start.
Yeah.
So my question is there anything within the show that maybe was caused by Bran, but we don't know yet? Maybe some big event happening, maybe Stannis dying, something like that was actually caused by Bran, but we don't know yet.
We don't know him because
he's going to change it later on.
Wow. Okay, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. And that's this whole timey-wimey thing.
Time and it can be.
Yeah, it's complicated.
But anyway, what do you think what are you looking for in the next episode? I mean,
I don't know, Tower of Joy.
Joy.
That's big thing in my mind. I just want to be over with it and just be just tell me who's inside and what's going on.
Definitely, and we know Bran's going to have a part to play there.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, and I'm sure lots of people are there. They have, all of them have different theories of what's going to happen inside, and I'm just I just want to know. Yeah,
not only that, but I think another thing I'd like to see is actually a bit of a fast forward with the whole plot in the north. What's going to happen with the Boltons? What's going to happen with is Brienne going to be able to convince the uncle to I think we'd like to see some of that developing very quickly and not just waiting a whole many episodes.
Same thing for Daenerys, really. I just want to see Daenerys walk into the city. I honestly, guys, please don't make me go through 3 episodes of Daenerys going through the Dothraki Sea again.
Yeah, going through that, or talking to people and convincing. It's get to it. All right, so you're going to invade anything. You're going to,
I don't mind the convincing people. I'm on the other side. I don't mind. Just give me 5 episodes with Tyrion trying to convince people. I'll be the happiest man alive.
Yeah.
But just I don't want to see her go to the Dothraki Sea till she can actually reach, you know, Valentis or whatever city that is.
Yeah.
Like, it's too many cities.
Marine.
Yeah.
Marine. So anyway, what do you think of the episode overall, considering the rest of the season?
It was a great episode, and just, you know, actually touching the history and whatever of the children of the forest and the White Walkers and everything. For me, it was perfect.
Yeah, I think we had a nice balance of drama, you know, and then we had a lot of action as well in the episodes. And
no one does action better than Game of Thrones in my
opinion. No, not at all. I mean, and I think we had basically, I think that is a crowd pleaser. You had a bit of everything, you know. You had your action drama. You had, you know, your funnies. Well, maybe not that many funny things going on, but it was definitely good drama and good entertainment, to be honest.
And you had the fan service, and you had this advancement in history too.
Yeah.
And, I'm just excited of what's to come now. I mean, like, is Bran actually gonna reach Jon Snow? Is he not? Are the Starks gonna be together again?
Yeah, I think finally everything they had been preparing for in the last few seasons is paying off, and finally everything's building up to this big thing, which we don't know exactly how it's going to be. But I think we can expect good things from the next couple of episodes.
And can you please not kill another direwolf? I mean, it's enough, guys.
Yeah. Because Summer died in this episode. You know, Bran's direwolf died.
No, it's like private message, like to Martin, if you're out there, please stop killing direwolves. Honestly, guys, come on, we've killed enough animals.
Well, I think that pretty much covers it for this episode.
Yeah,
I think. And we'll see you guys in the next one then.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this small, you know, discussion about the new show, and we'll see you next time. Ubik out.